signals from the top, to support the private enterprises, which has been doing quite poorly in the past couple of years, because of COVID and also because of the lack of confidence. The private enterprise has been rather reluctant to put money to reinvest into the economy, and this is 60% of the Chinese GDP and also 70% of Chinese employment, which is a very, very important sector. So we're seeing increasing support from the top and also a policy announcement from the PBOC as well, trying to support them financially, give them lower cost interest loans, for example.
大家好，今天给大家带来的是洪灏的一段采访视频。这期视频主要讲到了中国的政策、央行的政策以及中美之间的这个关税的政策。最后呢，也有对股市的一些板块及个股的推荐。话不多说，我们一起来看一下。
Promised tariffs. Let's bring in Hao Hong, partner and also chief economist at Grow Investment Management, and Sri Jagaranja is leading our coverage in Beijing of the NPC. Hao Hong, great to see and appreciate your time, and always a pleasure having you on the show. What are you expecting out from the NPC, and is it going to account for the eventuality of an extra 10% tariffs layered on China by the U.S.?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's the most important political event of the year. I think most of us are looking for 5% GDP growth, which is no surprise at all. 2% CPI target, which is the lowest in more than 10 years. It's a recognition, a tacit recognition from the top, the disinflationary or deflationary pressure in the economy. And also people are looking for 4% budget deficit, which is slightly higher than usual, and more special bond issuance. So I think all in all, the market has been hearing this set of numbers circling around. So if indeed we do get this set of number, I don't think the market would be impressed at all.
On the tariffs, how high? I'm going to push you a little bit harder on that. Still a couple hours left, but Trump says, look, they're going to go ahead. 25% on Canada, Mexico, an extra 10% on China. The response, and Sri's been reporting this from Beijing as well, potentially China policymakers could hit back by targeting U.S. agriculture. Does that make sense to you? And is that what you're hearing?
Yeah, I think, that was the last time China sort of trying to counter the tariff from the U.S., right? So, we're trying to put levies, tariffs on U.S. imports of soybeans and many other agricultural products, for example, beef and other meat products as well. I think this is just, countries hitting each other out, trying to get each other onto the negotiation table. I think 20% additional tariff is hefty on Chinese exports, and Chinese exports being the most important growth driver for the Chinese economy in the past couple of years, and now it's being affected by hefty tariffs. So I don't think it would be supportive for the Chinese growth going ahead if we cannot get a negotiation, reasonable reduction in the tariff done in the next couple of months.
How is it really all gloom and doom, though, heading into this MPC? Because it does feel like investor sentiment towards China amongst foreign investors and amongst local investors seems to have turned after the DeepSeek effect, after the symposium with the China tech leaders. Do you think that there will be, within this MPC message, more support, more momentum, and more support of AI-related investment and adoption?
Yeah, we had a really nice rebound in the last couple of weeks. I think major market in the world. But having said that, I think tariff is coming. I think much of the expectation from the NPC is baked in the market price, and the market is now at a very important technical resistance level. So more needs to be done. For example, recently we're seeing signals from the top, to support the private enterprises, which has been doing quite poorly in the past couple of years, because of COVID and also because of the lack of confidence. The private enterprise has been rather reluctant to put money to reinvest into the economy, and this is 60% 60% of the Chinese GDP and also 70% of Chinese employment, so which is a very, very important sector. So we're seeing increasing support from the top and also policy announcement from the PBOC as well, trying to support them financially, give them lower cost interest loans, for example. So these are all very good, right? So it's supporting the market sentiment for now. But I think, going forward, tariff is going to impact Chinese exports, which is the important growth driver for Chinese economy. And also it's going to affect the Chinese currency, So it will limit the monetary easing room for the PBOC, in order to defend the Chinese yuan. You can't cut your interest rate too much. So that's going to limit the stimulus effect from monetary side. So we need to do more, substantially more, on the physical side, to get the growth to 5% target this year.
Is it a stretch then, Hao Hong, to say or to expect animal spirits to be released because of this policy to support the tech industry and to support AI-related adoption? Is it a stretch to say that this is enough to really build a moat around the Chinese economy to protect and mitigate the impact from tariffs? And is this an opportunity then to increase exposure to Baidu, Ali and Tencent?
Yeah, I think, sentiment can be fleeting, right? So it comes and goes quite quickly. So last a couple of weeks, we've seen the sentiment rally, is inspired by DeepSeek movement. It shows, a way to do AI with substantially less cost and less GPUs, which is very, very good. But I think having said that, because the fleeting nature of the sentiment, more policies, needs to be done to be seen. I think right now, people gradually realize that, the support for the private enterprises and also bigger investment into the tech sector is real, and that is one of the reasons why the tech sector has been rallying the hardest amongst all the sectors in the market. But I think right now it's really the mainland Chinese money that is flowing down south to Hong Kong to buy up all these shares, because many of the technology names are not available in the Asian market. So it's benefiting from the southbound flows. But in terms of international investors coming back to this part of the world, I think more needs to be done.
So ultimately, it sounds like the authorities here are going to keep their powder dry until it becomes clearer as to what the end game is here with the trade war 2.0, if it does come to that. So what does that imply then, Hao Hong, in terms of rate cuts, in terms of stimulus? And are we only really going to see that in the second half of the year?
Yeah, I think ideally, because of the lack of inflation pressure, China can, use 50 bips to 100 bips rate cut in one go, right? So to sort of give the real stimulus effect to the economy. But I think just now we discussed, the additional tariffs is coming, so it's limiting the monetary easing room for the PBOC, and therefore I think they are waiting to see what Donald Trump is going to do, in terms of tariff and what kind of negotiation is possible, in terms of tariff. Remember in 2019, right? So China and the U.S. reached the phase one agreement in terms of tariff. China agreed to buy billions of dollars of U.S. agricultural products and Boeing planes, amongst the other things, to soften the stance of the U.S. on tariff. I think hopefully we can reach some sort of agreement and reach a win-win situation for both countries.
All right, Hao Hong, excellent talking, great value as always. Appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hao Hong there from Grow Investment Management, and Sri Jagaranja leading our coverage live on the ground in Beijing at the NPC.
Thanks, Martin.
Pleasure.
好了，来给大家总结一下。首先啊，第一点是提到了今年的增长目标还是5%的一个 GDP 的增长，通胀目标与财政措施，预计 CPI 目标为2%，为近10年来最低。同时，市场预期赤字率为4%，略高于往常， 并会有更多特别国债发行。第二个是美国关税升级的影响，中国可能应对的措施可能会针对农产品进行报复性关税作为回应。这个不仅是中国会作为回应，像欧洲啊、像日本啊、韩国啊，都在考虑针对美国的关税做出回应。那像加拿大啊、墨西哥这种国家，他们太依赖美国，反制措施相对有限。再就是政策支持，政府正在通过鼓励私营企业和投资 AI 来支持经济，但被认为不足以完全抵消关税的影响。最后是央行的政策与降息的预期，这里还是提到了担心人民币贬值，所以降息的政策不会那么多那么频繁，甚至有可能不降息。但是如果中美之间的贸易进一步恶化的话，那可能会出台一些相应的货币政策来进行刺激。然后投资建议方面首先是科技行业，考虑到政府对私营企业和科技行业的支持，以及与 AI 相关的技术进展，科技行业可能仍然是一个值得关注的投资方向，但需要注意目前市场的情绪是短暂性的，以及未来国际贸易形势的不确定性，都会对股市产生比较大的冲击。对于国际投资者而言，在贸易战 2.0 的最终结果明朗之前，可能需要保持谨慎乐观的态度。说实话，这个贸易战不是今年就能打完的，可能有一个比较长的周期，甚至在特朗普的整个执政周期之内都会频繁的被提及。真的，咱们普通人真的要谨慎，可能特朗普什么时候一句话就会引起美国股市的下跌，继而带动全球股市的下跌，这个都是大家需要特别关注的地方。好了，本期视频就到这里，感谢大家收看。